All that being said, I'd love to introduce our Chief Growth Officer, Adam Kolojejchick Kotch. Give him a round of applause. Take it away, Adam.
Kolojejchick Kotch. It's very phonetic. No, really excited to be here. I really like coming down to Jacksonville and being just with this community. You guys have such a strong, just RIA community here, and it's just awesome to see, and I wish I could replicate it in every city. We have a few PadSplit representatives here, so I think like there's a few things I want to say, but mostly just like get all of your questions answered. There's 5 of us here. E is going through this presentation. We're going to go through this panel. There's a lot of hosts in the audience as well. Like, get all the questions that you have answered. So I only have a few minutes. The things I want to talk about are like where we started, where we're at now, and where we're going from a growth perspective. I'm not Atticus. I did not found this company, but I was fortunate enough to join very early on. My first co-living experience was in 2016 in Atlanta. My buddy and I purchased this quadplex. We were trying to figure out how to underwrite this deal, and we were saying, hey, can I rent this out by the room? And at that time, we were really unsure. And so we converted, we added this additional room in each of the 4 units. We rented it out in a week. And we were looking at the numbers, and we were making double what we would have rented out for that particular unit. But I think what was more impactful for me is we spoke with the residents or the tenants that we brought into those units, and they were ecstatic. They were like, how is this so affordable? And it just clicked for me, and it's been my aha moment and why I'm here and why I'll continue to be here, is that if you can generate affordability and people can have a good experience, then you can also make good returns. Is that not a scalable model? And so in meeting with Atticus, PadSplit is built around what I'll call these 3 tenets that make co-living difficult. You can go do this on your own. You can go do this on your own right now. But for our fees and what we do, we drive traffic. We fill your rooms and we keep them filled. We do collections. Now, instead of having collections from 1 resident, I now have 8. That's a lot more challenging when things start to get, with that follow-up, and when there are issues, or maybe there's multiple. I now have a team to go to that. And then member-to-member issues, and E said it very well. Like, we can't solve everything, but what I do know is I have a 7-year playbook. PadSplit has a 5-year playbook, like, of how to deal with these scenarios. And there is not a scenario that you will go through as a host that we haven't been through. And so while I might not be able to solve that, I have seen it before, and I can solve it with you. And we can, the triaging and of all these issues that come up, we do triage most of those. And so and then a product. And if I can build a product and I can solve those 3 solutions, I can now scale co-living across the nation. And so where we're at now is we're a Series B company. We've raised a little over $30 million in venture capital to go build out this product, scale this team, hire the people that we have. We now have a little over 8,200 units. We're in 13 markets. E mentioned we have a team of around 130 or so that every single day, or at least I'll speak for myself, every single hour I'm constantly thinking about this product and how to solve it. And I think we've assembled a team of 130 people that feel very similarly. And it's going back to like, hey, if there are challenges in your market, if there's something that does come up, I have 130 people that have dedicated their lives in the next, for this year, the next year, the following, to help solve that. And so that kind of brings us to where we're going. Joel and I have some goals to double where we're at within the next year. If I think about the market dynamics that are compressing towards our model, we have a lot of Airbnb regulations that are happening right now, and I think like my thesis or quick view on that is I love Airbnb. I stay in Airbnbs every time I travel, but housing your community while making the same returns is just when you talk with city council, you talk about regulations, like, man, that's such an easier topic to talk about. Just house people in your community. And I think, in particular to Jacksonville, when we talk about like the demand for the product, there's a lot of people, and you talked about the numbers, but the numbers I'll also point to too is that there's 5,700 people a month in Jacksonville that go onto Google in some capacity and type in, I need a room for rent. There's 12,000 in Atlanta, there's 10,000 in Tampa, there's 9,000 in Orlando, and I think about that trend over time. All we're doing is we're becoming the demand aggregator for that group of people that are looking for rooms. We had 175,000 unique visits to PadSplit, across our 13 markets last month. And so what you get as a host and what we are trying to build is like that demand, that the destination for people that are looking for rooms, you now have the ability to list on that product and to get eyeballs on your rooms and then for people to book. And so, as I think about where we're going, doubling the business in the next, call it, few months, but all of us are really look at this as a future asset, and not just the United States, but like utilizing that throughout the world in different areas that kind of need this product. But my goal is 1 million units. There's a need for that, and I think E touched on it, but that amount of people that are looking or that are out of the housing, no one's building supply for this group of people, for low-income earners, and this is an opportunity to not just create that supply, but then also capture it and create returns for yourself as well. So I'll stop talking. I'll be here, and can answer any questions you have. But just very thankful that this room is full as it is, and I'm very excited for you all. And the last thing I'll say is, we talk about what PadSplit does. We have this many units. We do this. We don't do any of that. You as hosts have brought that. And I think that's the best part about this marketplace is we are just the facilitator of that. You all are providing affordable units in Jacksonville and in every community, and we are just the conduit of that. So thank you all so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Adam. And I think he makes a really good point there that we are truly building a community, not just our community here in Jacksonville, but also the vendor and investor community, local businesses. They are able to now capitalize on this growth wave that we have with PadSplit. So I think it's going to flourish. I think I always say the best is yet to come with PadSplit. We are still so early on in this journey that I'm stoked to see just how this evolves within here in Jacksonville, nationwide, and as Adam said, globally once we reach 1 million units. So next slide, please.